How's it going, everyone? This is Jose. This might be a little bit different for you, but I'm actually starting off a new single-player Let's Play because the multiplayer server, Forge Serve, has gotten very inactive. I've been pretty bored because I've pretty much hit endgame there. I have almost any resource that I could really ever look for. I'm running out of things to do. I've got a list, but they're just things that have no purpose in being done. For example, I could focus on forestry bees, but I don't need anything that is a result from forestry bees. So my goal is I've gone through and made a separate mod pack apart from Forge Serve, and that's what you're looking at now. It has a different variety of mods, mostly the same, but it has a few fewer mods, mostly balanced around the idea of sort of some vanilla balance with some fun exploration. And the biggest difference is we're not going to be using any biomes or planning at all. As you can tell by the splash background, it's not even installed. And aside from that, I'm also going to be using the Quark preset realistic world generation the IV toolkit with recurrent complex. So we're going to have recurrent complexes, and we're going to have sort of realistic terrain, ideally, but still sticking with the vanilla biome assortment. So I guess that's pretty much the intro or abstract for the series. So let's get started. I'm doing this a little different. I do apologize if the key clocks get annoying. I have a mechanical keyboard and a nice-ish mouse, but, you know, it's kind of a... It's I don't know. I like the combination. But I'm going back to doing live recording instead of doing voiceover. And, you know, it's not like me to normally do a Let's Play like this, but, why not? So we're going to go ahead and choose the Quark Realistic World type. Cheats on, only for the sake of if something bad happens. Bonus chest off, generate structures on, survival mode, name set, create new world. So as usual, I'm using the my void pack, which is a custom iteration of the Unity resource pack with a few of the unreleased textures and a few various other textures. So I'm going to let the world load, and I'll come back with you when everything gets settled in. Alright, we're back. So, the world has generated, and everything seems to be in good order. Looks like there's a recurrent complex up there, even. Let me drop the render distance down to 10 chunks, and hopefully that should help out a little bit. My FPS seems to be doing just fine, though. So, essentially, we're going to get started here like we do in any Minecraft world. It looks like we have some pigs here. I'm going to be playing in normal mode, normal difficulty, rather. And so I've got Mine Tweaker, or rather Craft Tweaker, set up here for a few things as far as recipes go. But, so some of the biggest differences in the mods between this server and, or this, not the server, this single player pack and my server pack, we do not have mechanism on this pack. Just something that I kind of felt like I've never really used it for everything it's worth. I mostly specifically use it for power generation, and I just don't feel like that's the right reason to have it. And so I've decided to exclude it from my own personal pack. My servers will probably continue to have it just because a lot of other users do enjoy it. I'm concerned by the spiders. Where are these? Oh well. I'm also choosing to play with the minimap off. So the minimap is installed, but it is turned off as far as like the actual HUD display. We're going to keep that off. Oh, I forgot to disable the Quark buttons. Oh well. So I guess we can get started with some Tinkers. I don't have Tinkers add-ons installed either. Tinkers add-ons is my own mod. I did not install that. I installed the Tinkers tool leveling instead, because Tinkers has like a vanilla mending that works pretty well. So I think I'm just going to stick with something like that. Try to stick with more vanilla mechanics for the Tinker's tools. I want to get started with Tinker's tools, though. I don't want to actually cheat any and use vanilla tools for the first little while. So we'll go and get some stuff started. So we're going to need some blank patterns. That's probably way more than I'm going to need, to be honest, but that's okay. I'll need a crafting table and probably one more log. Yeah, I think that should be enough, so we'll do that. So yeah, as far as ideas or things that are holding us from moving on the server and resetting the map is essentially I don't want to reset the map until Thaumcraft has released, because I know that that's pretty soon, actually, or at least sooner than later. So I kind of would like to hold off on that if possible. Actually, this should have gone here and not there. I like the fact that the model gets changed. I do like that a lot, actually. So, I guess we will actually need wood to make some tools with. Alright, so let's hop over to the stencil table and pick up a few stencils. We're going to want pickaxe head, shovel head, sword blade from the sounds of it. I think I'm going to continue to go with broadswords, so we'll do a wide guard with a tool rod pattern, and we'll need bindings for all of our tools. I think that's all I'm going to need, except I forgot to get axe. There we go. So I probably should focus on an axe blade or an axe first, so we'll get that going. And axe with a handle and binding. Hop over here and craft it. Yep, so there we go. Wooden axe or wooden hatchet. And you can see that these have levels. I will probably find myself configuring and changing the configurations for the mod Tinker's Tool leveling. I literally just toss it in with the default settings. I have a feeling I'm not going to like those default settings, so bear with me while I may go about changing these configs later down the road. But, you know, just know to expect that. And I'm kind of waiting for fast leaf decay to kick in any minute now, but more leaves. There we go. So the focus on this pack, if you guys want to, of course, leave any suggestions, please do. I always appreciate it. But, you know, I just kind of want to get some fun stuff going. I don't really know what style I'm going to go with. I also want to kind of put out there that this is going to be sort of a fun and possibly temporary series. I don't know how long I'll be keeping this one around. It's just kind of something I'm doing for fun during the interim before the reset on Forge Serve. When Forge Serve comes around, I may continue to record this and Forge Serve. I may try just one or just the other. I don't really know. So we'll just have to play it by ear when the time comes. I've been pretty busy with school. I actually won a competition recently, and yesterday, as of the date of recording this, which was it was a programming contest, and I won the competition with my group. We all wrote a mobile app that was really fun to do, but took up a lot of my time. So that's why I hadn't been making videos here lately, because I still actually have an episode or two from Forge Serve, but the Forge Serve episodes require a lot of my time for editing them, because I have to go through, edit out all the boring and irrelevant content, and then record the voiceover, and then export and upload. And rendering, exporting, and uploading doesn't take too long, but the longest part is mostly going through and watching the whole video, usually a total of 3 or 4 times before I'm actually done editing, to figure out, okay, well, which parts were boring to watch, which parts should I cut out, which parts were important. And so, you know, I'm going to try to go with this style, if I can, because while it's a little bit more, it's not quite as refined, but the flip side of that is that it is a lot quicker for me to get these episodes up. It takes about as long as it does for me to record these to upload them. I don't know why I'm worrying about so much wood. I just kind of don't like having to cut down trees after a while, so it's pretty convenient to just get everything you need, or most of what you need at first, and hop down in a cave for a little while, which is my plan. I'll do some caving, and probably going to do all that off camera, because no one enjoys watching a mining trip. I'm not, I used to try to mimic other, like back years ago, when I did YouTube videos, I try to mimic other people's style a little bit too much. by introducing every kind of ore, every kind of resource, every kind of this and every kind of that. When I found it, I think what I'm going to start doing is just kind of ignoring that, going with, okay, here's a recipe that I need, it uses this resource, and here's how I got that resource. I feel like that's a little bit easier to explain. The only other really cool thing that I think I could do is maybe cut over, like say, okay, here's me crafting with a resource, and here's where I found that resource, and then it transitions into me actually discovering the resource the first time, and then clipping back over. But that being said, I'd like to find a cave or something, and once I find anything, if not, I'll have to make a short, like, underground shelter. Ooh, sheep. Perfect. Gonna have to kill these guys. But I would like to get settled somewhere. How does this sheep have 0 health? You guys saw that too, I hope, right? Strange. So alright, we have a few Botania flowers. I'll just pick 1 or 2 up for the free achievements, why not? Looks like there's some, ooh, lava over there, and ooh, what is that? I want to explore, I want to go over to that, so I might get myself set up over there, do some mining off camera, and call the episode quits at that point, we will see, but we'll start off with a bed. Oh, do I have my custom textures? Yes, I do. Cool. I made myself some textures for quark beds in Unity. I will kill this pig because I'm gonna need food. And I should probably take the time to find some flint in the side of a mountain or something over here. If I can find some gravel, maybe, but I don't see any. What about over here? Marble and limestone. That's just about all I see over here. Some copper, and some coal, some aluminum, and some clay. Is that clay? No, that's marble. Well, let's grab the coal, and, okay, well, 1 piece of coal. Thanks a lot, friend. And, ooh, pumpkins. Pumpkins will be, relatively useless, but why not, right? Why not? It is coming up on Halloween, so I should probably try to do some festive decorations. I don't normally do, like, real-life holiday festivities on any worlds, but I should, actually. Thinking about it now, that would be a really fun idea. So let me know what you guys think. Should I do some sort of haunted house build, or... I'm trying to think of how I could do a haunted house really well on a modded pack like this. Like, what sorts of benefits the mods could possibly bring to the table. Excuse me. If you can't tell by my voice or my cough, I am incredibly sick, though. I feel good enough, obviously, to sit here and play games. And I've still been going to school. I haven't missed any school because of my cold, but I have a pretty crappy cold right now. That was a result of the huge programming project we did. We spent, me and the group spent a good 3 days here in my house, literally all huddled up together, and as a result, one of us got sick, and now all of us have been sick. And I am the last on the list to have gotten sick now, so that's not fortunate at all, but I'll live. I think I'm hopefully at this point past the rough part. And at least we won. It would have been a shame if I got sick for nothing, but we won, and I'm very proud of that. So, if you don't know about me, I'm actually going to school. I'm a junior in my computer science degree, and so I've never actually participated in any outside, like, extracurricular competitions like that, but that was my first one, and I'm super glad that we won. This is actually a really nice house. I'm gonna live here for the time being. For the time being. I hate taking over, like, stock houses. I always feel cheap, but for the first night, this might not be a bad idea, because this is actually pretty perfect for where I'd like to live. There's also a lot of bees. Oh, hey, a mine shaft. That blended in pretty well, actually. Oh yeah, and I made new custom lever models with block states. They're based off of the ones in the Suartex pack. An empty chest, okay. Another empty chest. Nope, that wasn't lucky at all, but there is a little bit of gravel here. And gravel is good because flint is a good material. So I'm going to try to get a hold of some flint, and I'll be right back once I do. We'll replace the tool heads and hopefully get somewhere with the episode. So, as I was working on getting more flint, my lovely shovel broke. So, not a big deal. Just going to grab some wood, going to grab some other stuff here, and I want to set up this tinker stuff that we had before upstairs. So the wood is so that I can make another crafting station, because I love crafting stations. They're pretty great. And let's see, how many blocks wide is this? 3, 6, 7. So if I put the crafting station here, then we'll have the central table on the far end, the pattern chest here, the part builder here, and the tool station here. Fill you back up with our blank patterns, and back to service, I guess. So we will repair up our shovel, and I guess I will be back on my way to getting the last of the flint that I wanted to get. Alright, so I think I've gotten just about enough flint here to get going. I've got 18. That'll give us enough to make our tools, and hopefully have some left over for reparation. I did forget to bring some wood with me. I should repair my tools before I replace the heads on them. It's just good practice. And wood's pretty easy for us to get a hold of, so there's really no point not to. Whereas flint's going to be a little bit of a bigger pain in the butt. Not much, but admittedly still somewhat. So let's hop over here and grab a flint pickaxe head, a flint shovel head, a flint sword blade, and a flint axe head. That'll leave us with 10 flint left over for reparation. It's not bad. So this will bump us up to about 190, 200 durability. Just depends. So that's not bad. That's something. I cooked up the pork chops that we had off camera, but I think I'm also going to go ahead and cook up these scrumptious lamb chops as well. So they do 1 hunger and very little saturation raw. I don't know what they do cooked. I guess we'll have to find out. 3 hunger and high saturation. Good. So not quite as much as pork chops, but not bad still. Very cool. So, wouldn't mind giving the area a quick glance just to see what's around. Wouldn't mind that at all. I would like to see if I can find a slime island. I do see some rubber trees over there from Industrial Craft, so that's pretty great, actually. If you're wondering, I may or may not have mentioned this before or in the past, on Forge Serve and also likewise in my single player now, we've moved over from using Wayla to using the One Probe as our sort of, what the heck is this that I'm looking at? Mod? Because Wayla seems to be somewhat abandoned, whereas the One Probe is being actively developed by McJady, so it's very, 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 very frequent that if there's a bug, it'll get fixed quickly. Whereas, unfortunately, that is not the case with Wayla, even in the slightest. Even though I much prefer Wayla for its simplicity and standaloneness. And what I mean by that is the fact that the One Probe does require the mod both on server and client, and not only that, requires the addition of items even if you don't intend on using them, such as the case here. But that's okay. I do want to get this clay. If you've never used Tinker's Construct before, I highly suggest it, but if you're going to get started with a truly Tinker's only playthrough, then you've got to start the way I have, where you start off with Tinker's wooden tools and work your way all the way up to a smeltery using only vanilla materials for the most part. So you're going to run into a few difficulties, that's for sure. I want to warn you about that now. Fortunately, we have a few mods that add copper and aluminum. Well, we have one mod that adds aluminum and a few mods that add copper. And that is a good thing because the addition of aluminum means that Tinker's Construct has automatically registered the alloy for aluminum brass. Aluminum brass is good because it will it'll be a cheaper method for us to make some permanent metal casting materials without having to use clay all the time and therefore wasting our clay. Because clay casts can be used only once, and that's rather unfortunate, but completely balanced. I have no disagreement about it, but such is the nature of the beast. I want to see if I can get this water to correct itself before I move on here. There we go. I always try to leave things at least somewhat the same as I left them. I mean, or the same as they were when I came. Obviously, there's a huge chunk of clay missing there now, but at least it doesn't look like I've completely devastated the area. Or at least that's the plan. I'm picking up ink sacks as we go, just because I have been working very hard on my building style, and so I don't ever know when I'm going to need colors or not. In fact, I don't think anyone really ever knows when they're going to need colors or not, so I figured why not go ahead and get ink sacks. They can be used for a dozen different things, so why not? We have some apatite in the mountain over there, brought to you by forestry, and it looks like another little house over here. Let's, what time is it? Let's go explore the house, and then we'll head back home afterwards, and probably call it an episode at that point. I'll go ahead and do some mining off camera, but in between episodes, I will, like I said, go get some resources, kind of get some stuff set up and ready to go for making a smeltery, possibly. Ooh, reeds. Let me get these before I go in. These will be helpful. But I also want, I will probably take the time to record anything that I might find very cool if I decide to explore. So it looks like there's a bed, an empty chest. I will take the empty chest. I will take the bed. And I believe that's all. You can see that a lot of these trees are like huge, and that's pretty cool in my opinion. Ah, another mine shaft. See, that's why I love this recurrent complex mod, is there's all sorts of stuff to keep you distracted. I just love World Gen. There was a mod back in Minecraft Beta that I actually ported to Minecraft 1.4 and 1.3, I think, even, too. I don't remember. It was called Mystic Ruins, and it was a part of a trio of mods. And it was a really fun mod, because the ruins were neat. Dang, nothing here either. Well, at least I can finally mine the iron. Excuse me. So the mining level on this is probably... I'm not sure. I'd like to get these tools leveled up. I'm not really sure what happens, if it's the same as Iguana, Tinker Tweaks, or what. You know what? I won't steal these. I'll leave these here. So let's see what I can find. Oh, that looks like something off in the distance. Let's head towards that. Alright, so let's see what this place is all about. It looks pretty abandoned. I don't know if there's even going to be anything here worth taking a look at. I will take any of this moss stone, though, because I believe moss stone is still used to make balls of moss. Yep, and that is how you make mending moss. So it is definitely worth grabbing. Mending moss is essentially Tinker's Construct 2.0's new solution to mending, or rather auto repair, because everybody tried to argue that splintering and ecological on wood tools was your solution, and I was one of the few who was always counter-arguing. Not one of the few. I was one of the group that was always counter-arguing that no, in fact, is not a solution. It's something, but solution is not what it is. And so, evidently, Boney had been paying attention, and so he decided to implement his own, much less overpowered implementation that used vanilla mending mechanics, which I'm actually very, very, very fond of. So, we'll stick with it, because, to be honest, the amelioration from Tinker's add-ons that I wrote is good, but it's overpowered, and I'm also not completely satisfied with it, because I still could never get the stinking... what's the word I'm looking for? Rendering to work for the modifiers. I'm not sure if I'll ever need string, but I'll grab this string. Why not? Like I said, I'm kind of getting the feeling that this place is like old and abandoned, but who knows. I did bring a red bed. Actually, I just remembered I have enough wool that I can make a sleeping bag. I think, yeah, totally, definitely. So we'll make a sleeping bag, because sleeping bags are much nicer than beds, and that won't reset my spawn. So I'm actually running an old version of the mod, so I do have to right click on a block. Otherwise you could just right click in the middle of the air, but they changed that recently. And by they I of course mean Shadowfax, who I'm kind of friends with. Kind of. I don't know what's even in, like, what is this? Okay. Yeah, so it looks like this was pretty much absolutely nothing. But that is okay. So I'm going to head back. Let's see if I find anything on the way, but I don't think I will. So I will let you know once I get back. Alright guys, so at this point I've looped back around into the mines here right by the house. And I think I'm going to end the episode here, but I want to use these mines. This gives me inspiration for something I haven't done in a long time, which is just a simple minecart track going down the mines. I think it'd be pretty cool to do, although I'm wondering, I don't know, I'm not sure how well I should or could implement that, but I think it'd be pretty cool. So off camera, between this episode and next, I will do everything in my power to get what I need ready to get a smeltery going. Rather, the base ingredients, the gravel, the sand, and the clay that's required to make grout. And I'll probably go ahead and smelt it too, because smelting all of that takes quite a while. So hopefully next episode won't be a complete snooze. I'll go ahead and grab this iron here while I am here. And, what? Oh, okay. And yeah, like I said, I think I'm just going to leave this the way it is. And, go ahead and start expanding it downwards here at the end. Just something similar to what they'd already had done. Oh, yeah, I forgot to bring any torches, so I should go get those. And, so yeah, I guess I will do that off camera, and I'll see you guys next time. Hope you guys enjoyed.